welcome to sportsreview.com. I'm Natalie Rydstrom. Got three cappers with us today. Stuart from tipsterhq.com, Martin Green, and Alex from needfortips.com. Guys, thanks for being here and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Awesome.
New Year.
Well, we've got... we're not quite back in the league yet. Like, we've still got Bundesliga is off, Premier League as well, but we've got FA Cup, we've got Serie A, and we've got La Liga. So I'm going to kick off with Serie A. Now, I see we're all coming in strong here. Napoli versus Sampdoria. We all have a bet for this match. Going to read the odds. Napoli 1.3, draw 6, Sampdoria around 10. Stuart, why do you like this match, and what have you got for us?
I don't think I gave a tick on that one. I think you might have.
Did you not? Oh, you didn't. Oh, you
no,
didn't.
I'm the only one that's staying out of it. I've noticed the other guys are on it, and I can see it should be a very good match, but it's not one I'm getting involved in.
Yeah, somebody's asking where Bernardo is. Bernardo, unfortunately, will not be joining us for a little while. He has got a very exciting new venture over in Malta. So I'm sure at some point he'll be on to tell us all about it. But we've got Martin here, who is filling his shoes. And we've got he's been with us now. You've been with us for a little while now, Martin, haven't you?
About a year and a half, yes. Been doing
year and a half, yeah.
I'll try my best to fill those massive shoes.
Oh, well, we appreciate you being on. So anyway, well, we'll start with you then, Martin. Napoli versus Sampdoria.
I just think Napoli have really found their shooting boots in recent weeks. They've got 16 goals in their last 4 games, which is phenomenal form, really, despite losing their star striker to injury earlier in the season. So I think we should see goals in this game, and I think Napoli are on a bit of a roll at the moment, so they should have enough about them to beat Sampdoria. So I was just looking at Napoli and the over 2.5 goals at 1.7.
Yeah, I really like Napoli here. They've got a strong home form. I think it's 6 wins. Sampdoria don't travel well. I think they've just managed to pick up 1 win, 3 draws, 5 losses. I really like Napoli half-time, full-time. I think they're going to come in strong. It's a must-win match for them as well. They're in 3rd. They've got to win this match. They've got to use their home advantage. So mine is Napoli half-time, full-time. Alex, what are you going for?
I agree with you. Halftime, full-time is a really good bet, but we can see also minus 1.5 Asian handicap for Napoli. We should see a comfortable home win. They have really the best attack in Serie A, 40 goals over 18 rounds. They don't have so big injury problems, only Albion and Kirikeshi in the back, in the defense. So we might see Sampdoria scoring also, but I don't see Napoli having any problems in this game. So halftime, full-time is good. Minus 1.5 is good. Both of them at 1.8.
Fantastic stuff. Udinese versus Inter Milan. I previewed this match. Like you've spoken about it sort of all through the week. I love the Inter win, but nobody seems to be agreeing with me, so I'm a little bit nervous about that one. I'm going to start with you, Martin. No, Martin, you don't have one. Stuart, what are you going for?
I'm not agreeing with you. I think this one's going to end up in a draw, I have to say. Just looking at it, I think you've got 2 teams that are fairly well matched. And I think there's just too much value on the draw to avoid it, really. So just a simple value call and going for the draw. Okay. So comes down to you, Alex. What are you going for?
I said to you when we previewed that match that it's really hard Inter to win the match. Really pretty dangerous bet. So I think that the problem of Inter is that Udinese plays really good at home, and Inter doesn't do good away on their away when they're traveling. But Stuart might be right. We might see a draw game, but I think that we might see a draw game with goals. So my top tip for this match is both teams to score 1.75 with Pinnacle.
All right. I'm also getting the tip here. Do not bet Inter Milan. Martin, would you bet Inter Milan, or do you agree with these guys here that I should stay away from that bet?
I would stay away from it, yes. I just think they've been a bit unpredictable of this season, as have Udinese. So I it's on that one. And I would advise proceeding with caution there.
Okay, all right. Moving on now, Genoa versus AC Roma. Alex, you have a bet here.
Yeah, absolutely. AS Roma to win the match. Genoa lost some players in the meantime over the holidays. I think that Roma, they have to win this match. It's a must win for them. if they want to has to control the gap between them and Juventus, away win 1.91 William Hill.
Okay, away win. Martin.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. I think I found 1.92 with Pinnacle on the AS Roma win in this game. And I think they really can do it. They'll be bitterly disappointed to have lost to Juventus before Christmas, but they bounced back with a comfortable win. And I think this is quite a mentally strong side. Very, very good going forwards. And I think they should have too much for Genoa here. So I would be going for that Roma outright win too.
Yeah, all right, nice one. And they obviously must win for them as well. Then we've also got Lazio versus Crotone. Martin, you've got another bet for him.
Yeah, I've just been really unimpressed with Crotone all season. I think they've only got 9 points from 17 games, which is just dreadful form, and they look destined for the drop. They're travelling to a very good Lazio side who have got home advantage, so I think Lazio can win this pretty comfortably. And I was looking at Lazio minus 1.75 on the Asian handicap at 2.03.
All right, and then Alex as well, you've got a bet here.
I'm not going so far to minus 1.75. I'm sticking with minus 1.5 at 1.88. I agree totally with what Martin said. Lazio is too strong for Crotone. Crotone will relegate from my point of view. Lazio will catch, they might catch also Champions League if they continue the good track. I think that it will be an easy win, 2 goals or more than 2 goals difference. At minus 1.5 for me.
Yeah, and somebody's commenting here, both teams to score, saying Genoa is very strong at home, both teams to score. Would anybody play that bet against AC Roma?
Well, Roma do have a bit of a gung-ho way of attacking where they leave gaps at the back. So yeah, I don't see why not, but I'd prefer just to stick to the outright Roma win there.
Yeah, Alex?
No, it's a pass for me. No, I'm not playing Genoa. I heard and I was reading an article about them today or yesterday where they lost a lot of players. They are selling a lot of players. I don't know what is happening there. They might keep on losing some important players over this transfer period of time. So I don't know. We shouldn't risk that kind of bet when we have so good odds for AS Roma.
Yeah, okay, just stick with the AC Roma win. Now we've got Pescara versus Fiorentina, and Alex, you've got a tip here.
Yeah, I consider a gift from the book is Pescara really low. Again, I'm saying that also Pescara will drop with Crotone. So Fiorentina to win the match 1.92 with Unibet. It's a gift from heaven, so we should play it. I played it a few days ago. I got a better odds. It was at evens when I played it. 1.92 right now. So check around for the best odds because you might find also a bigger value.
Okay, and then Sassuolo versus Torino. You have a bet here as well.
Yeah, I love these two teams. I really love them. They are two of my favorite teams in Europe. I like the way that they are playing in the attack, open spaces. So I expect a game full of opportunities and goals. Both teams to score in the over 2.5 combined bet for me, 2.1 with Bet365.
All right, Juventus versus Bologna. Both myself and Martin have got a tip here. Obviously, Juventus still undefeated on their turf, 9 straight wins, 24 goals scored, 6 conceded. Juventus enter strong. The odds at 1.2 there. You can get against Bologna. Martin, I'll start with you.
Well, yeah, I think the key thing that you mentioned there was only 6 goals conceded. A lot of Juventus's recent success has been based on this formidable defence. Bonucci, Barzagli and Chiellini, they're just so hard to break down. And the value shoots up to 1.83 when you back Juventus to win to 0, which is far more interesting to me. So I'd be looking at that, 1.83 Juventus to 0.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you actually. I also like Juventus halftime, full time, 1.73, and then I think there's also a touch of value on Juventus minus 1.6 as well. We get that for about 1.6. So those are my bets there.
I think that for you, Juventus and under 3.5 goals, right?
I don't always play that bet, but yes, sometimes. Actually, I would play that bet here. I think that is a very good suggestion, Alex. I wonder where you got that from. Okay, Espanyol versus Deportivo La Coruña. Stuart, who's been a little bit quiet here, you've got a bet.
Yeah, I'm going for Espanyol in this one. I think they're the better side out of the two sides. I think there's even some value on this one. 2.15 with William Hill for the home side. I think that's a really good set of odds for a team that's in better form and just looking better generally.
Looking better generally. Okay.
I have a question for Stuart. Does he think that Deportivo will score in this one?
Difficult to say. I think you could see both sides scoring, so you know, you may want to go that way, but I wouldn't be betting against them. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Deportivo. Yeah, they've got a very poor road form. Deportivo. They've yet to win. They're one of four teams yet who haven't picked up a single win in La Liga on the road. Now we've got Real Madrid versus Granada. Okay, what am I going for in this match? Well, Real Madrid
under 3.5. I don't know.
Under 4.5.
Under 4.5. All right.
No,
1.9.
No,
Real Madrid minus 1.5 then.
No, I think there's actually some value here. Obviously, Granada, they're in 19th. Again, a team who have failed to win yet, only scored 8 goals. I think Real Madrid confident to keep their top spot. You know, it's a must-win. Real Madrid to win both halves. I think there's a touch of value there, 1.7. And then a bet that I'm toying with, so I'd love to hear your thoughts here, is I'm looking at both teams to score. You know, Real Madrid, they do concede, and Granada on the road, I think we could see a goal. They average about a goal a match. There's some value in that, 2.2, both teams to score. Would you be more on Real Madrid keeping a clean sheet or both teams to score? I'm gonna ask you, Alex.
No, none of them. It's a risk bet when you see a team like Granada. It's a risk bet to say that if they will score or not, and against whom? Against Real Madrid. It's difficult. If let's say after the holidays, the players of Real Madrid will enter relaxed on the field, we might see a goal from Granada. Or in the case that Real Madrid will score really quick in the game and we'll see a lot of goals from Real Madrid, then Granada might score also one.
So basically, leave that bet alone. What about, do you like my bet there, Real Madrid to win both halves?
Yeah, that I like it. Or Ronaldo to score. I think that is one of the good bets. Cristiano Ronaldo to score at least one goal or maybe over 1.5.
Okay, now we move Eibar versus Atletico Madrid. I'm quite surprised to see Atletico Madrid priced as high as 1.7. Obviously, they are on the road. They have been struggling. They're in 6th, I think. So yeah, they're in 6th place. You know, they've got to keep at least a top 6 spot, so it's a must-win for them. Eibar are in 8th. Kind of like the Atletico Madrid win, to be honest with you. But as they're playing on the road, I'm not sure whether to avoid that one. Martin, what do you like in this match?
Funnily enough, I actually like the Atletico and under 3.5 goals in this one. Honestly, haven't copied that from anybody, but Atletico are another side like Juventus, where a lot of their success has been based on this really strong defense. They press really hard and high all over the pitch. Very difficult to break down. I think they'll be really unhappy with their league position at the moment. They've got a pretty comfortable run of fixtures in the next month or so before they play Barcelona, and it's really time for them to start creeping up the table and breaking into the top 3. Eibar have been in good form, but I still think Atletico are by far the better team here and should be winning this. And I can't see there being too many goals in the game. So Atletico and under 3.5 at 2.25 looks good to me.
Yeah, they've both got stellar defenses. Atletico have conceded 7, Eibar 6, and they're not high scoring. You know, it's not so. I was actually looking at the under 2.5 goals. So I think combining the Atletico Madrid win and the under 3.5 goals could be a good idea. Alex, what do you like?
I'm a little bit afraid of Eibar when they're playing at home. I like the straight win of Atletico Madrid, 1.7. But I will split my stakes with both teams to score at 2.15 with Betfair. Atletico Madrid doesn't have the defense from the last years. In the first part of the season, we didn't saw Atletico playing the same in the defense. So I'm a little bit worried. And Eibar are really good mid-table team, doing a lot of surprises when they're at home. So it might be a little tricky. This is why I will split the stakes with both teams to score.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I was actually looking at both teams to score no, so different sheet than you. But Eibar definitely play a lot better. They've got 5 home wins compared to just 1 away win there. Stuart, do you have any thoughts on the match?
Not really. It's something I'm going to be staying out of, I think.
Yeah, I have to say, Stuart, looking very smart with your new haircut.
Got to get done at some point.
New year, new haircuts. Looks very good.
Absolutely.
Okay, Real Sociedad versus Sevilla. Alex.
Real Sociedad versus Sevilla. Okay, I have a note here. Both teams to score is my tip for this match. Real Sociedad and Sevilla are really good offensive teams. So, and if we see head-to-head at the results, I think that we can go with the flow and say both teams to score. I think it's 1.8 around there, the best odd. I like it a lot. I don't say that we should play high stake on that, but I like it.
Yeah, Sevilla obviously, got sort of Champions League fixtures sort of in February. Is that going to affect at all at this match? Obviously, it's going to be a tough campaign for them.
It's too early to say that February games in Champions League will affect them. Yeah. But I don't think that they are thinking from now at the Champions League games. But I think that at the end of this month, whomever they will play against, they might be affected, yes.
Yeah. And Martin, you've got a tip here.
Yeah, well, I think Sevilla are a fascinating team because they're just so good at home. They'd be top of the league if only home games counted this year, but they've always struggled on the road. For the last couple of seasons, they've been dreadful, but they have picked up their away form this season, but still only won a few games on the road. Whereas Sociedad are having a good season. They've won 5 at home. So I think they can get a result here. It's not great value, to be honest, but Sociedad draw double chance 1.42 would be my bet there.
Okay. Celta Vigo versus Malaga. Stuart, what have you got for us?
This one's kind of going between either going for a draw or going for the away win. I can see both reasons. I think I'm going to go for the draw on this one. I think you've got 2 sides not in particularly good form, I have to say. And I think there's some value at 3.8 with BetVictor on the draw. So I'm just going to chase the value on this one.
Yeah. Isn't there enough value there to play like a draw no bet or a double chance or something on the Asian handicap? Because sometimes if I'm not sure, kind of like to play the both.
Yeah, I think double chance to draw and away would probably be the best option if you wanted to go. If you wanted to hedge your bets a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Alex, you got a tip for this match?
Yeah, I'm going with the home win. Celta Vigo found their good shape after the New Year, smashing Valencia in the cup 4-1. In the meantime, Malaga lost with Cordoba, also in the cup. Let's not forget that. Celta Vigo is playing at home. I don't believe that Malaga will put. They might put problems, but they will not do the surprise. Celta Vigo to win the game, 1.991. Yeah, 1.91.
Okay, and then next we move to Villarreal versus Barcelona. Alex, what do you like here?
I'm expecting 2 possibilities. I think that Barcelona will start with really good strength on the field. Sorry, they will control the match from the beginning. Villarreal, best defense. Villarreal, best defense from La Liga. They are playing with the best attack from La Liga. I don't think that Barcelona will have a problem in winning the game. But I'm expecting a clear Barcelona win. For me, it's Barcelona with -1 Asian handicap, 1.86, combined with another bet, both teams to score in the over 2.5 at evens with the bet 365.
Yeah, well, it's an absolute must-win for Barcelona, and I was really surprised to see their odds there. They're currently trading at like 1.53. But Villarreal are a strong team. They've actually got the same amount of sort of wins home and away. So Villarreal 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Barcelona has exactly the same, 6-1-1. Kind of nervous for the draw. Martin, though, you've got a tip here. What do you like?
Yeah, it's an interesting game for me because Villarreal have got the meanest defence in La Liga so far this season. But I think that goes out the window when Barcelona roll into town with Suarez, Neymar. So I think they should be able to overpower Villarreal. They would have had plenty of time to think about the second half of the season over the winter break. And I really think they'll come out all guns firing. So I like Barcelona to win and the over 2.5 goals. I wrote down my bet, but I just need to find the odds, which I
think that it's around 2.15.
Yeah, it's just over evens. Yeah.
But I remember the song after you said, when the boys come into town, all the girls go crazy.
I like
when Suarez comes into town, everyone goes crazy. Yeah, 2.2. Barcelona
nice.
2.5 goals looks a very good bet to me.
Yeah, well, I'm looking as well. I do like both teams to score. You do. You've got the tightest defense. I think they've conceded just 5 goals on their turf. But Barcelona has the strongest attack, 23 away goals. I think we're going to see goals from both sides at 1.75. I like the over 2.5 goals at 1.62 and the over 3 goals at 1.97. Okay, moving on. We have got West. Okay, so now we're moving into the FA Cup. So we finished with La Liga. FA Cup, we've got West Ham versus Manchester City. Stuart, you've got a tip here.
Manchester City win, 1.67 with Bet365 for a Manchester City win. Pep Guardiola is not afraid of taking on the cups. He's done it in Germany, he did it in Spain, and I'm sure he'll be going for it this season because their league title campaign is not going particularly well, is it?
Yeah. Amazing to see them priced so high, to be honest with you. I suppose just considering they're on the road. Martin, you've got a tip here also.
Yeah, I totally agree with Stuart that this represents probably the best chance for Pep Guardiola to get any silverware this season. So I really think they'll go for it in the Cup. I think West Ham will be up for it as well, but they were already knocked out by Man United in the League Cup, and I think they could struggle again against one of the real top sides. So Man City win looks good value to me, but also I was looking at Man City and the over 1.5 goals at 2.05, just for a little bit more value.
Yeah. I like that as well, actually, for a little bit more value. I've got Man City in the over 1.5 goals. You can get that at 2.1. Alex, you've not put anything down, but what are your sort of thoughts of this match?
I think that hopefully for everyone, Pep Guardiola will not finish his career till the end of the season. He said that he's the last club where he will manage, Manchester City. I'm not particularly in the FA Cup, so it's a pass for me. I believe that against West Ham it will be a tough match for City, but if the guys, most of all Martin, that he's from there, okay, also Stuart is from, but he's living in France. That they are going with City. I think that we should bet on that game.
Yeah, I'm from there too. I'm English.
But you are also Swedish and you are also other stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little mix. I'm a little cocktail of things. Yeah, I like okay, well actually so now moving on, Manchester United versus Reading, and it's Martin and myself that has a bet. I have to have a bet for that match. Martin, what do you like?
There's a few things I like here. I think Man United will win it. I think Reading might be a bit overawed by the prospect of playing at Old Trafford. I know they've been good in the Championship this season, but I think this is a bit of a distraction for them when they really want to focus on trying to win promotion. So I think Man United to win, but the value isn't really there on the outright. So Man United half-time, full-time at 1.75 looks good to me. Or to get a bit Man United to win to 0 at 1.96.
Yeah, Martin was speaking the same language here. Man United, half-time, full-time is my bet as well, 1.75. Manchester United, they've not lost a match in 12. I think they're looking strong, and I think that the FA Cup would look nicely on their shelf. So yeah, Manchester United, half-time, full-time.
You could say they got a little bit lucky against West Ham. You could argue that they got a little bit of a helping hand. Yeah, I
bet. Okay, we've skipped quite a few there, and we're going down to Sunderland versus Burnley. I like this bet a lot. I actually think this is one of my most confident bets, actually. Obviously, two Premier League teams, no stranger to each other. Burnley have yet to win on the road. I think playing their win would be a little scary. They're currently priced about 3.21, Sunderland 2.22, and then the draw 3.31. I think we're going to see both teams scoring, though. You know, Sunderland, they are scoring, they are conceding, as is Burnley. Both teams to score 1.91. Really like that bet. And Martin, you're joining me in this match in betting on it. What are you going for?
Yeah, this is an interesting match for me because I think this is an interesting match because I think neither team wants to play it at all. It's a real distraction for both of them while they're battling for their lives in the Premiership. So I can't really imagine either of them putting too much effort into the game. If you're Sunderland and you're really up against it, fighting for your lives, I'm not sure you're going to risk playing Jermaine Defoe in the FA Cup. So I think we could see quite a low scoring game here. I was actually looking at the under 2.5 goals at 1.75. I can see one team nicking it 1-0, or maybe even being 0-0 or 1-0.
Well, let's just hope it's 1-1. And we've got to go back to the Manchester United game because there was a few comments here. So Dario says Manchester United win to 0. That was your bet, wasn't it, Martin? That was one of the ones you liked.
Yes, I do like the look of that. It depends how Reading approach the game. Sometimes they can get really excited and play really well at the start when a team comes to a really big stadium from the lower leagues, but they can be a bit awed and you might see them not even get a shot on goal in the first half. So I think you'll get a pretty good indication of how it's going to go within the first 5 minutes of the game. But yes, I did like that bet when I was looking at it. 1.96 looks good value to me. And yeah, I just think Man United have been defending a lot better of late. The defence looks a lot more like a Mourinho defence, and they should overpower Reading in midfield. Maybe wait till you see the starting lineups to see who's playing.
Yeah, and then also we've got Gary Colbert saying the over 3.5 goals. I'm not sure we're going to see as many as that, maybe 3. But Alex, you're normally an overs guy. How many goals do you think we're going to see in this match?
Over 3.5 is kind of risky. I don't know what the first 11 of United will be. If Zlatan will play or he will be rested for the Premier League. It's hard to decide over for this game, and especially for all the games in the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm. I know, and I think especially with sort of the Premier League teams, especially the ones fighting for the top 6 spots, even fighting relegation, you just be careful of where you think their focus may be. Look at the starting lineup before placing bets. Another bet is the over 1.5 goals in the first half. I'd actually probably play that sort of based on sort of what Martin was saying, sort of Reading being sort of excited coming out. You know, maybe we could see a goal from both in the first half. I don't know, unless obviously with the win to 0. Stuart, do you have any tips for this match?
No tips, but I have to say I think there's time as a Reading boss, and I think if there's anyone who could put together a decent defence and coach them well, it probably is Jaap Stam. So I don't think I'd be going for the over 3.5.
You wouldn't. You cut out quickly. What was your? You were like, I have to say, and then you froze. What did you have to say?
Jaap Stam's made a good start to his time at Reading, and he really should be able to coach a defence. I mean, he was an excellent defender, and he's been doing some good work in the coaching background. So if he isn't able to coach a defence, there is something seriously wrong.
Yeah. Okay, and then also back to the Burnley, Sunderland versus Burnley. My tip was both teams to score. Someone's asking, tempted with Burnley with their higher price. I'm just still so cautious about their road form. I just wish they would have one win under their belt, and then I would feel confident backing them. But maybe at least even look for a draw no bet option or something like that if you feel strongly about that bet. And Martin, what was your bet? Oh no, you were going for the under 2.5 goals in that match, Martin.
Yes, I think it will just be a bit unpredictable because it's hard to see either team really taking it seriously. Of the two, Burnley have a more comfortable cushion over the relegation zone. So you could argue that an FA Cup run might be liberating for them. But I really can't see either team going for broke in this game when they've got much more important fish to fry in the league. And I really think Sunderland will rest players. So yeah, of the two, I'd probably be slightly leaning towards Burnley, despite them having terrible away form, but I still wouldn't really like to go either way on the outrights here.
Yeah, I think I'd be leaning towards Burnley. I have to say, looking at this one, Sunderland are in deeper doo-doo than Burnley, and I believe also Sunderland's one of their best midfielders, Didier Ndong. I think he's gone off with Gabon to African Cup of Nations, so I don't think he's likely to play in this one, and he'll be a big miss one.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Premier League is the most affected with the African Cup of Nations from all the leagues in Europe, and it will be really important for a lot of teams that they are losing, and most of the teams that they have players from to leave for that competition are from the middle and down, so it's tough for them to go also in FA Cup, also for Premier League, and to avoid relegation. So for me, it's a total pass, the FA Cup. Maybe I will do an accumulator with what it comes on my mind on that specific day.
Yeah. Okay. So you're totally out on that one. Well, I kind of agree. I do understand what you're going for, but I think there are some teams that do really want this cup, and I think that we've got some value. Like even, for example, the next match, Watford versus Burton Albion. I've got a tip. Stuart's got a tip for this match. You know, Watford at home. Yes, they're not having the best run. They're in 15th, but they're not fighting relegation. This could be something that really sort of boosts their confidence. And I have to go with the Watford win. Then I'm going to split my stake with Watford and Watford -1. Stuart, do you have a bet for this match?
Yeah, straight Watford win. There is, of course, the concern that they've got a lot of injuries at the moment, and they may not be fighting relegation yet, but they could still get sucked into it. I think they'll be okay when their players come back and everybody's fit. But right now they're struggling a little. But I do think they should really have enough to beat Burton Albion.
Yeah. And then the next match, actually, with both Stuart and I have a tip on, is West Brom versus Derby County. Obviously, Derby County, they're 7th in the Championship. But West Brom, who thrive on their turf, don't have anything, you know, they're safe in relegation. They're not going to make the top 6. I think that I think they'll welcome the FA Cup. And 1.91, I just don't know how you can't play that, personally.
Yeah, I mean, those odds have gone up very nicely, haven't they? I mean, I was on it yesterday at slightly lower odds, unfortunately. But I think West Brom win is very good. I mean, they're a decent side. They're improving. And they're looking a bit like a cup side. You know, it's small things that can make a difference. And being able to score from corners, free kicks, set pieces generally is the kind of thing that can win games and really make a difference in this kind of competition.
Yeah. So, Alex, you're not tempted by that bet? Almost
no,
doubling your money.
By this bet, yeah, I like West Brom. I love to see them when playing in Premier League, at least in the last 2-3 games. Exactly like Stuart said, they are improving little by little, and they are not playing a force from Premier League. So I think that it's yeah, we can double our money with that.
Yeah, there we go. We've tempted you. Okay, Liverpool versus Plymouth. Both Stuart and myself have a tip here. Stuart, take it away.
We were talking about this one yesterday, and at the time I was saying both teams to score no at 1.65. And you said to me, why don't you go for Liverpool to win 2-0? And I was like, it was a bit of a smack myself on the head moment, because I don't see Plymouth winning 2-0. Let's be serious. So Liverpool to win 2-0, but I'm really not that impressed by the odds. 1.75 with Bet Victor. I was hoping to see 1.8 and above on that. Something to keep an eye on. If the odds go up, jump on it, I think.
Yeah, well, when we were talking about it, I think it was yesterday, it was 1.8. So that was quite nice. And that's when I took it. Liverpool win to 0. Second toughest home defence. I think it'll be very hard for Plymouth to score. Also kind of like Liverpool -2 there. I'm expecting a 2 or a 3, maybe 4-0 win. But obviously if it's a 2-0 win, at least I get my money back. Don't see them just winning it by 1-0. Alex, just want to hear your thoughts on that match.
I think that Liverpool will win. I don't like the odds, but I'm not going any further. In the meantime, I'm talking with the viewers about Nick, that he's saying what is the best play at Barcelona that we talked about till now. So you continue, guys, with the FA Cup. I will talk with our viewers.
Oh, you're just chatting. Oh, I see that. All right, you good. But and what about you, Martin? Do you have any thoughts on that match? Do you think Plymouth can score? What's the sort of the best approach?
Not really, to be honest. I just find it very difficult to endorse Liverpool winning to 0 because I'm just so frequently horrified by the way they defend. Again, it might be worth waiting to see the starting lineup to see what sort of side's out. I think they will take the FA Cup quite seriously. He does like a cup run as well. I was sort of edging away from this one just because I couldn't really find enough value. But I think Liverpool will win, but I wouldn't be confident to say they'll win to 0.
The one thing that really pushed me to going for the win to 0 or both teams to score no was looking at Plymouth's goal scoring record. And even in their league, they are not particularly high goal scorers. Their title challenge, and they are in a title challenge right now, is based on their very solid defending. And because of that, I think Liverpool can win even with a rotated side. But I don't think Plymouth could score against Liverpool even with their strongest.
Yeah. And that's Chelsea versus Peterborough. Next match previewing now. And Stuart, you've got a tip from there. Obviously, Chelsea have had a little bit of a downturn, haven't they? They conceded to Stoke. And, it's sort of like the win to 0 bet was sort of quite a confident bet that you could take with them. But now it's a bit risky. The only thing is against Peterborough, Can they score against Chelsea? But also, what will their starting lineup be? Stuart, you're confident about this bet. What are you going for?
Despite their loss last night, yes, I think Chelsea is still a very, very good side, and I think they've got decent depth as well. I mean, I believe they've won the FA Youth Cup for the last 2 or 3 seasons in a row, and they've got some good youngsters coming through as well. Even though they've got something like 34 players out on loan at the moment. Even if they rotate the side, even if they bring in some of those youngsters, I still think they've got a good enough side to put some goals away against Peterborough. And at Chelsea -2.5, I'm on that one. 2.32 with Bet Victor. I think that's a really good set of odds.
Yeah, I bet you were quite happy about that result. Was it 2-0 to Tottenham?
Just a little bit chuffed, yes.
Yeah, that was a good bet. I didn't place a bet on that match, but I probably would have gone for Chelsea, so I'm glad I didn't.
I was on the draw, but I was very happy to lose.
Yeah. Okay, the final one actually is Tottenham versus Aston Villa, and obviously the Spurs fan here has got a bet. Stuart, take it away.
I do, but I'm actually going for Villa plus 1.5 in the Asian handicap market. I think Spurs will win, but I don't think it will be a particularly convincing win, mainly because Spurs don't actually go for the cups very hard. And I think we're going to see a fair number of rotated players. So you might see Michel Vorm in goal. You might see Cameron Carter-Vickers making a start at the back, just giving someone like Toby Alderweireld a bit of a break. Spurs, they've got some decent young players coming through. But I don't think they're going to rack up a huge number of goals against Villa, even though Villa have been a little bit off form at times this season.
I like, it's not an official bet, but I really like actually the Tottenham to win to 0, 2.1, and Tottenham -1.5, 1.85. I don't think Aston Villa are having they're poor on the road. They've scored just 7 goals on the road. If Chelsea can't score, I think Aston Villa is going to find it a little bit tough. But Alex, Alex, you're out. You're on the chat. Martin.
I'm going to sound a bit like a broken record here, but I really would wait to see the starting 11. Again, like Stuart said, you're never really sure who's going to start part in this FA Cup game, and how seriously Pochettino's going to take it. So, I mean, if either Alderweireld or Vertonghen's playing, I think they could easily keep a clean sheet. Yeah, just depends on how strong a side they put out there.
Okay, now this comes to our final. Actually, Martin, you don't know this because this is your first time here. You have to give at least a 2-team parlay. We generally give like a 2-team parlay, and then the.
Oh no, I did this last week. I staked my life on it, and I'm still.
Okay, well, I see you're still alive.
Still standing. Parlay. Okay.
What was your bet? What was your bet?
Something to do with Chelsea. Always back Chelsea, except when they're playing Tottenham.
Well, I see you've still got a roof over your head, so that must be a positive thing. Alex, going to pull you away from the chat just for a second. Give us your 2 teams.
Okay, I'm out from the chat. Okay, my 2 teams parlay. Barcelona to win against Villarreal. With Fiorentina to win against Pescara. And my top tip for my banker for this round, for this week, it will be your tip, Napoli to win halftime, full time.
Woohoo! Okay, Martin, go on.
Okay. Top tip, I'm going to make it Man United, halftime, full time. So for an accumulator, let's have Man United, and I'll put them with AS Roma. I think they've got a very good chance of beating Genoa in that game.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Stuart.
For my banker, West Ham versus Man City, a Man City win. I think got pretty good value on that, and as I said, I think Pep will be taking that one seriously. And we're going to combine that with a West Brom win against Derby County. So yeah, Man City and West Brom double.
Okay, I think I'm going to go for 2 from City. I'm going to go for Juventus and Napoli for my 2-team parlay. And I really like Sunderland versus Burnley. I like both teams to score, even though Burnley don't score on the road. I just like the odds, the 1.91. Oh, actually, I really like the West Brom one as well. Actually, maybe I'm going to change. No, West Brom. That's my surefire tip. West Brom to win. So there we go.
If something helps, if the guy from our viewers, Francis, will help you at all. He says sexy Natalie in her accent. So so give us your best tip right now.
we were chatting on because Brenner and Loshak do morning like odds couple, and so I was chatting on there. So I'll do like a shout out from here. Hello, Francis. Okay, great stuff, guys. Thank you so much once again. We'll be back same time next week. It's a little bit later at the moment, 11:30 Costa Rica time. So that's when we will be on for now. But best of luck with your tips, and enjoy the weekend, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.